Can you take me back and detail for me the instances where you believe your personal security has been breached?
I think what happened pretty early on in government is that the Sunday Times appear to have got access to my Building Society account. They got access to my legal files. There's some question mark about what happened to other files, documentation, tax and everything else. But I'm shocked. I'm genuinely shocked to find that this happened because of their links with criminals, known criminals who were undertaking this activity, hired by investigators who were working with the Sunday Times. And I just can't understand this. If I, with all the protection and all the defences and all the security that a Chancellor of the Exchequer or a Prime Minister has, is so vulnerable to unscrupulous tactics, unlawful tactics, to methods that are being used in the way that we've found, what about the ordinary citizen? What about the person, like the family of Millie Dowler, who are in the most desperate of circumstances, at the most difficult occasions in their lives, in huge grief, troubled, not knowing where to turn.
So you're saying...
And then they find, as they have found over the last few days, that they are totally defenceless in this moment of greatest grief.
Just to take you back,
from people who are employing these ruthless tactics with links to known criminals.
And that's where I want to take you to. You're saying or alleging that News International have been involved in a criminal conspiracy with the underworld.
I believe now, from what I've seen and heard, and what has been told to me by people who've investigated this, and I'm looking at the evidence that's been accumulated by Nick Davis of The Guardian and the most brilliant of research, that the links that made possible the intrusion into people's lives, and particularly the intrusion into the lives of completely innocent citizens who deserve to have the privacy of their lives, particularly at times of the greatest grief, at the times when they're the most vulnerable, that News International were using people who were known criminals, people who had, in some cases, criminal records, and that News International, as a result, were working through links that they had with the criminal underworld. And I think when people find out that the invasion of their liberties, their private lives and their private griefs and their private thoughts and their innermost feelings becoming public property as a result, not of a rogue reporter or a chance investigator or someone saying something out of turn when they meet a friend at the street corner or when they talk to someone on a bus, but because criminals were hired to do this particular work. And these were known criminals. These were criminals in some cases with records, in some cases with records of violence. And these links have now got to be explored. And I find it quite incredible that a supposedly reputable organisation made its money, produced its commercial results at the expense of ordinary people by using known criminals. And that is now what's got to be investigated.
A very strong allegation. Your Building Society wrote to you in 2000 about its concerns with News International and you being a targeted subject of hacking and blagging. You knew then in 2000. Did you contact the police? Did you contact News International, whom you had a good relationship with at the time?
I don't think I can ever say that I had a good relationship with News International. What actually happened was that News International were trying to prove a point. And they were completely wrong. And they were trying to suggest that I'd bought a flat without it ever being advertised, and actually it had been advertised in the very newspaper that was making this allegation, the Sunday Times.
So completely unfounded?
Completely and utterly unfounded. Nothing could be further from the truth. A flat that I bought that was advertised, and I bought at the price that was going in the marketplace, that the Sunday Times wanted to allege were the purposes of bringing me down as a government minister, that I had bought in some underhand way. It now appears, from what I now know, as a result of investigations that have been done by other people and not myself, that they'd hired someone who was breaking into my lawyers' files effectively by blagging, as they call it, talking to my lawyers, getting information out of them, that on 6 occasions they went to my Building Society and they asked for information and managed to get it out of people on the basis that I was phoning, I was asking for information about myself.
Did you complain to the police?
I complained at the time to the Building Society. I complained at the time through my lawyers to the Sunday Times.